Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to my channel today. If you could take a second to hit that subscribe button and go ahead and smash that like button, really appreciate it. I want to keep these videos coming. I see that some people are watching them. We want to help this channel grow though, so please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So today in the Chico real estate market, we only have about 50 houses for sale, which is incredibly low. Incredibly low. It's funny because a few years ago when we saw 100 houses were available on the market, or 125, that was pretty low, or even 80. But we've been about 50 houses available for the last few months now, and it's incredibly low. We're hoping that with next month, when spring, and the buying season really starts to pick up next month, April, May. That we'll see some more houses become available, but you can never really say what the market's going to do. So we'll keep our eyes on that. That is a big reason why housing prices are continuing to rise. There was just a news article that came out saying that $1 million houses are becoming the norm in a lot of cities. There's hundreds of cities, for the first time, their houses value is over $1 million, first time in history. So the housing market really is booming. The reason for that, you might be saying, well, why are these prices going up? This is insane, this is crazy. They got to come back down at some point. It'll crash just like in 2008, and that's definitely there. It doesn't ever have to come down, and there's no saying that it will. It could, but when people bring up the 2008 bubble, there was a lot of rules and there was a lot of stuff going on that does not happen anymore. The laws have changed. You can no longer just go into a bank and say, I think I'm going to make $100,000 this year. Give me a loan for $1 million so I can go buy a house. That is just simply not how it is anymore. And so when the economy started to tank a little bit, and those folks that said they were going to make so much money could no longer make that house payment that they could really afford in the first place, that's when things got really bad, and that's when we started seeing foreclosures and that's when all of that started happening. But we're not seeing any foreclosures right now. We're not seeing foreclosures like there was, before the market crashed. That's not happening. And in part, it's because of those laws that I was referring to earlier. They really do go and check and make sure that you got a job, and they look at your pay stubs to make sure that you're making the amount that you're making, because we don't want to see another 2008. Now, inflation is also a huge deal right now. If you've been paying attention to the market, inflation is super high right now. So in a few years, we're going to be paying more money and getting the same amount of product. So when inflation hits, people lose money. They start to spend more for the products that they would receive. And you can already see it in lumber and meat and other products. We're paying a lot more than we were just about a year ago before the election. So that's something to keep an eye on, especially as we know houses were at a certain price before the election, and now with the inflation going on and nobody wants to sell their house, I think we'll expect to see a bigger rise in housing prices. The cities that are, as I just said, there's cities that are now having $1 million as their average home price sold. We're not quite there yet for Chico, But as more people start moving here or looking to move into this area, the amount of homes being built is definitely not picking up the demand. If we're building a subdivision with 20 houses or 50 houses or whatever, that's going to fit a couple hundred people. But if we have people coming here from other countries and from other states, and that equals 1,000 people, then you can see why housing prices will go up, because the demand is a lot bigger than the supply at this moment in time. So we still have roughly the same amount of buyers as we did a couple years ago, maybe even more, but our housing supply has diminished by half at least. So we're going to see a rise in housing prices, which is for sellers, that's great. You sell today, you'll get top dollar. You sell next year, you'll probably get top dollar too. So we don't know when this is going to end. You can't predict the market, but all I can really say is that housing prices have gone up, and in the month of January, if we go and look at Chico, bring that up right now. The median housing price in 2020 was $395. The median house in Chico now is $467. So you can see that is that's almost a 20% return on your house that you bought just a couple years ago, if you bought in 2020. So we're going from the 3s to the 4s, and in a couple of years it'll probably be the 5s, which is incredibly quick, and we go from 2020 to 2025, we're looking at $150,000 appreciation in some neighborhoods and some houses. I mean, that's insane. So thank you for watching this video. I'm going to cut it off here. Please hit that subscribe button. Tell me your thoughts on the housing market down below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm glad to talk to you. This is Realtor Braden. Have a good day.